Good evening. My name is Dr. Susan Fennick, and I am the CEO and founder of Juvenile Justice Impact. Tonight we have with us Nigel Murray. He is the founder of Clothes for Kids, and we had a pretty awesome pre-podcast discussion, so we can't wait to talk to him more about his organization, how he helps the community, and also we'll introduce ourselves.
I'm Natalie Maury. I'm the Junior Executive Assistant for Juvenile Justice Impact.
Like she said, my name is Nigel Murray, and I am the founder of a local nonprofit here in Las Vegas called Clothes for Kids.
Nice. So how did you come up with the concept of Clothes for Kids? It sounds incredible.
Yeah, so I started when I was 14, but a few months before I turned 14, our family actually went through the foster care system. So at our church, there was a big initiative that was just it raised awareness to kind of the issues that were going on in the foster care system and how many kids were in there. And so after a few months of thinking, my parents decided to go ahead and start taking the classes. And so that was like about 6 month process. Every single Sunday after church, they would go down to the family care services to take the classes. And so after being certified and going through all the long process, it was finally time for us to begin fostering. And so one day I was picked up early from school. I was really excited because I was going to have a new foster brother. And we went down to the family services, and my new foster brother, we were actually able to talk to him for like 30 minutes before he came back home with us, just to make sure that he was comfortable coming back to our house. And on our way bringing him home, he was really very quiet, didn't like to talk a lot, and you could kind of tell he didn't really have a lot of confidence in himself. And I kind of understand, just considering this 14-year-old, or actually at the time he was like 12, this 12-year-old boy was picked up from school, didn't have an opportunity to go home and get any of his clothes. And so when we were bringing him home, all he had was a trash bag full of a few belongings that the child care facility gave him. And so after we arrived at my house, we began showing him around our house, showing him where he would stay. I showed him my room, cool things like that. So we began unpacking his bag, and I quickly noticed the clothing items that was actually inside of his bag was either way too big for him or way too small. For example, there was like a pair of shorts in there that was like a 3X, but this is a kid that's pretty much like my size, and there's no way that he's going to be able to fit that. And it was very obvious that the clothing inside of that bag wasn't his. It was pretty much someone else's clothing that was given to him, because that's like pretty much all they had.
Right.
And so he had school the next day, and my parents had to run out. It was like 11:30 at night to try and go get him some basic necessities like underwear, just regular clothes for school the next day. So that was a lot of stress on them. And after my parents got home, they allowed him to try on the clothes that he had, and instantly he lit up. He began to talk. He was a totally new kid. You could like really see, you could really see
a whole different side of him.
Exactly. Beforehand, beforehand he was really.
He's probably thinking, how am I going to fit in those shorts? I'm going to be so embarrassed if I have to wear those as a shirt. He knew the clothes that was in that bag, and he's probably thinking to himself, how am I going to get to eat? All he was worried about, because you know how school is.
Yeah, especially he's in middle school too, so that's kind of like the primary where you kind of want to have the coolest things on it or whatever. And so, like I said, he instantly lit up. And so I kind of noticed that transition in how when he had clothes on that he was confident in, how he carried himself. And so I asked my mom, was this something that happened to other kids who were in foster care? And so she actually had some of her friends that were fostering at the exact same time. And so she reached out to them and asked them, was this something that happened to you guys? And they said pretty much the exact same thing happened. We had to go out and give them new clothes. When they tried the clothes on,
isn't it something they would have them leave with clothes that they know didn't fit them?
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of times they don't have like the greatest amount of funding, just because that's kind of a issue that sometimes gets pushed under the rug. So, right. I mean, they do try the best they can do, but after realizing that this was a situation that occurred to a lot of people in foster care, that's when I had the initial idea for Clothes for Kids.
I love it.
That's amazing. It was a really good story too.
Yeah. It definitely a moment in my life that I'll probably never forget, just because that small little, probably 15 minutes of me feeling for this kid kind of like allowed me to start something that I plan on doing for the rest of my life. So,
yeah. That's amazing. That's incredible. No, because I mean, think about it. You saw that light go off in his head and thinking, thank God I don't have to wear those clothes that don't fit, right?
Yeah, and
so you changed his life, for that moment and for pretty much forever.
Yeah.
And now here he is. Tell us about what he's doing now.
So we were actually so when you begin fostering, there are like different what's the word? They're different type of homes. So you have like long-term homes, short-term homes, homes that are wanting to adopt. So there's different type of homes, and they kind of determine each child's situation for which home to go into. So we were actually a short-term home, and so we had him for about 7 months until he was moved into, I believe, a kinship placement. So he was actually able. It wasn't his biological mother or father, but he was actually able to go with a family member. So. Unfortunately, just because you have to protect the privacy of the child, we often can't like keep in contact with him just because like they can't send us like his just because it's like I understand, but everyone in the world isn't like
right, especially if he was say in 7 months, you probably formed a relationship.
Like I said, we were really close when he was with us, but they just can't. It's just some like information that they're just not able to disclose to us. But sometimes, because he has bounced around to different foster homes, some was kinship placements, some was regular ones. But sometimes his foster parents reach out to us and allow us to talk to him on the phone for a little bit. So that's always an awesome opportunity to be able to talk to him and kind of catch up and kind of see like, hey man, like this is like all this, you pretty much are helping all these people, because if we didn't have the awesome opportunity of fostering, we wouldn't be able to touch all of the lives that we've been able to. So
one person.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it takes.
That's all it does take, really, one idea. And if you have an idea and you feel strongly enough about it, then you have a dream, then you just make it happen. You really do. So tell us about your organization now.
Yeah, so we've been operating since I was 14. So what was that? I believe that was 2022. So like 2018, 2017-ish. So right now we recently just got an actual location. So that's kind of where we'll be like operating out of. It's a small house in North Las Vegas, kind of in the, I don't know if you guys are familiar where Doolittle Community Center is, but it's right around the corner from there. So that's actually where we allow each child to actually come in and handpick the clothes themselves, especially teenagers, because like we were just saying earlier, there's certain clothes that teens like to wear and some that they don't like to wear, and some kids, exactly. Some kids don't like green, some kids don't like blue. So for us, cause the ultimate goal is I want each child to be satisfied with what they have, right? So I want them to be like, yes, like I actually want to wear this, rather than like, oh, this is cool, you know what I mean? Because I know me, I like to wear clothes that fit a certain way, look a certain way. So to be able to give them the opportunity to actually come in and pick the clothes themselves, so we don't have to worry about picking the wrong thing, is really a blessing. So that's where pretty much we store all of our clothes. It's where we pack all of our bags. And so right now we're just in the process of renovating that home, because I want to create a unique space where it's a safe space for them to come in, like I said, pick all the clothes that they want to pick, hang out, get resources, just kind of, take their minds off of maybe the situation that they're in. So that's kind of what is going on with Clothes for Kids right now.
Nice. Awesome. So how do they know about you?
Yeah, so we're partnered with the Family Care Service. So whenever a child is dispatched to a foster home, they'll give our information to that family as a resource. So as well as there are also other, like we have our business cards like in different businesses and things like that, but for the majority part, it's the caseworker gives them our information, because a lot of times, everybody doesn't always know about what's going on. So the caseworker most of the time just gives them our information, and then they reach out to us with how many kids they have, what size, and then from there we kind of get them connected with the clothes and stuff.
And where do you get the clothes?
So we either buy the clothes ourselves with the monetary donations that we receive from our supporters, or the supporters actually buy the clothes themselves. So local people here will go to Walmart, or if they see some clothes on sale, they'll just buy all of them and then drop them off at our location. Or people that don't live here just shop online and have it sent directly to us. So those are kind of the two ways that we get most of our clothes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, especially when we just go to the facility and see like 6 boxes stacked taller than me, just full of brand new clothes. It's always really exciting. So
I would love to come and take a tour.
yeah, absolutely. One day, I mean, whenever you guys are free, just let me know.
That would be awesome. But yeah, going back to like your story where he felt more confident in the clothes that he was in. That's why like this is awesome, because I mean, for me personally, like if I have something on that I'm not like comfortable in, I don't feel confident, and that's so big, especially if they're in middle school and high school. That's like huge.
Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of
transition age.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say that's kind of like one of those critical ages where it's like this is where you're gonna this is where you're like shaping yourself. So like if you go into this not feeling confident, it's a possibility this might stick with you and you might not ever feel confident. So yeah, it's just really important for me to try and give them choices, because a lot of times these kids don't have choices. For instance, my foster brother, for example, he didn't have a choice to be in the situation that he was in. He didn't have a choice to go home and pack any of his clothes. He didn't have a choice to grab one of his comfort items. He didn't have any of these choices. So the least I can do is at least provide them with the choice of clothes, because that's really important. And that's kind of, clothes is like an expression of yourself. That's why people dress differently, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's very, very important.
That is amazing. Yep, that's awesome.
Well, I think what would be great is we just had a meeting earlier this morning and with a lot of companies that work with foster care kids, and the timing's everything. Seriously, I mean, let's just flip over to this other page here. You know, we have a whole list of facilities, or organizations, I should say, that work with foster care kids. Mm-hmm. And, you know, these are some of the topics that we were talking about earlier this afternoon, I should say. And I think it would be wonderful if we could definitely have you come to the next meeting, tell everyone about the amazing work that you're doing in our community for the foster care kids. And we can also, when we have maybe next to one of our workshops, come and tell everyone what you have, what you're doing, why you do it, how you do it, where you're located, and everything. Mm-hmm. and just, I mean, your story is just so special. It really is. You know, when you're doing something because you've experienced something yourself in your heart, your body, mind, and soul, the energy and the worth and the expectations and the goals that you have are just so much different than if it's like something that's not in your passion.
Yeah, and I just feel like this is just kind of
and this is it.
Yeah, exactly. It's an issue that I feel personally connected to just because I've seen it firsthand. So although I wasn't in his shoes, I was kind of in it in a certain extent, just seeing it from the outside, seeing how he was before and after he had the clothes that gave him confidence. And so, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I know that middle school is tough. And, you know, even if you look at some of the schools, I mean, so much bullying goes into kids that don't have, you know, the shoes or even your socks. Yeah. I mean, no matter what it is, book bag, no matter what, people just, you know, especially middle school. There's that middle school is so difficult for youth, and the fact that you can provide, especially that age, some really nice clothes.
Yeah, and that's why it's really important for us. All the clothing that we actually give them is brand new for that specific reason, because you know, they're always used to the hand-me-downs or these are, you know, because if the clothes are new, they were not purchased for you. They're just someone else's clothes that, I mean, not always, but that could possibly send that message to the child where it's like, these aren't my clothes, these are just someone else's that they didn't want, so now I'm getting them. Right. So now all the clothes that we give them is specifically bought for them, and it's brand new with the tag on. They're always the first person to wear it. So that's why it's really important for us to do that, for that specific reason, just because, you know, like you said, in middle school, high school era, it's kind of, you know, make or break. So it's really important.
Something I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? You know, it's like, okay, I got a test, but hold on, I got to figure out what I'm going to wear.
Right, exactly.
I'm go walk it in, right?
Exactly.
It's so much about it. It's unfortunately that has so much to do with how you get through.
Yeah, and I mean, it. You know, just like we were saying, I mean, kids aren't nice, right? So it's like, you know, if kids see you and you don't have the whatever is in the trend, you can kind of, you know, face some bullying or face some discrimination in different type of ways. So, I mean, I don't think it's right, but honestly, it's probably something that's not really going to go away. It is what it is. So, Clothes for Kids just tries our best to provide them with cool clothes that they want to wear. So.
Yeah, so you're helping them physically, but also like kind of psychologically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I said, it just gives you confidence, and everybody's confidence comes from different clothing. So it could be, some people's confidence could be, oh, I only want to wear Nike, or some people's confidence could be, oh, I only want to wear this certain color. So that's why we try and give them choices and brands, colors, styles, it's all of that. So
that was amazing.
Well, this has been incredibly informative. Anyway, so tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do in your spare time? You got this really cool car outside.
So I'm currently 18 years old, and I go to UNLV, majoring in business marketing. I want to eventually, I definitely want to do Clothes for Kids for the rest of my life. That's definitely not going anywhere. But I also want to have a digital marketing agency where I can provide the services of marketing to different firms and things like that. As well as that actually also goes hand in hand with Clothes for Kids, because I'll be able to use that knowledge to raise more awareness. As well as I'm kind of into like social media, so brands will send me like clothing items and things like that to post on my different social media pages, so like TikTok or Instagram. So that's kind of what I'm kind of into, fashion, which is kind of ironic considering Clothes for Kids. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my life. Pretty much is made up with Clothes for Kids and school right now. So I went to Nevada State High School, so I'll actually only have one more year. I'm a freshman at UNLV, but I only have one more year until I graduate, because I was able to graduate with an associate's degree because of Nevada State High School, which is like a dual credit program that allowed me to take college courses. So yeah, I'm just kind of excited to graduate. Can't wait till it's over. But yeah, I mean, it's not too exciting, but I mean,
not too excited. I graduate next year. And you're 18. That's amazing.
Just filling some time. Well, I would love to definitely come and take a tour. I think we all should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come and take a tour, and definitely I would love to invite you to our workshop that we have coming up at the end of the month called Healthy Minds. And a lot of the program directors, or the people that are running the programs, have a lot to do with the foster kids, and a lot of at-risk and underserved youth as well. That you would just be an incredible resource.
Oh yeah.
So we'll definitely connect you and link you up, and I can introduce you to some really wonderful community leaders that are working with the population in which you serve. Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that Clothes for Kids, one of our little slogans, is it takes a village to raise these children. So anybody that we can potentially partner with to reach more children, I'm definitely always 100% down for that. So really excited.
Okay, it's official. And it's a wrap. No? Well, definitely. Tell everyone how they can get a hold of you, reach you, your location, your website, your phone number, everything.
Yeah, so it's our social media pages are Clothes for Kids LV, so that's KLOTHES, the number 4, and then kids, KIDS LV. And then our website is clothesforkids.org. And that's some of the ways you can get in reach with us. On our website, there's a contact us form. You can just put in your name, number, information, and ask us any question that you have. Or, so that's pretty much the best way to get in contact with us.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And you can get a hold of us at Juvenile Justice Impact at 1-888-JJI-0010, or you can check us out at www.impactjji.com. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you so much for your time.
Thank
you for letting the world know what an incredibly awesome organization you have. I'm so proud of you, and we're going to keep it going and make sure that we can get a lot of people over to come to your company and get the help that they need. And I feel like this is going to be a really, really nice collaboration between all of us.
I think so too.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited. Really excited.